Hi, everyone. Tyler Mannion here, NPC and IFBB Pro League Vice President. And today we're going to do the Arnold UK Wellness Recap. And this is brought to you by Wolfpack. So there was 5 women at this show, so we're just going to do the review for all 5 of them. In first place was Leonida. Now, Leonida brought an extremely impressive package to this show. She was in perfect wellness conditioning here. If you guys want to see again what we want to see with wellness conditioning, here is another great example. Normally, she comes in too hard and too conditioned. At the Olympia this last year, she was 10th, if I'm correct, and she was too hard there. She worked on coming in the correct condition. Her upper body downsized a little bit, so she doesn't look like she has too much muscle in her upper body anymore. Lower body-wise, when you are more conditioned, it makes you look not only harder, but it makes you look more muscular. So when you're in the proper condition, now her legs look like the perfect size. Also, her glutes have improved. When she's in her back pose itself, the glutes look great. The only thing I think she needs to work on is just adding a little bit more to the glutes. Why? Because when she walks, you can see that is where the difference is between her and the girls that are at the top and placing at the top of the Olympia right now. But looking at this physique, what she brought is a big threat to move up considerably at the Olympia and maybe challenge for a top 5 spot. So she's definitely on the right track, and all the judges were extremely impressed with her look from this weekend. In second was Juliana. Now, Juliana was a good bit too conditioned, for wellness at this show. Her body was very, very good overall, though. Now, in the front pose, you can see that because she was too conditioned, she had too much separation, and she seems pretty quad dominant here, especially when you see in the front pose. However, when she gets into the side poses, you can see that it's not like her legs themselves, especially from the side, are really, really big or too big, because it wasn't like they were dwarfing Leonida's from the side. So what happens is, I think if she softens up and comes in that proper wellness conditioning, I think it's going to make her legs look, especially her quads, look smaller from the front and less dominant. But she needs to be careful, because she could still be a little too quad dominant, where she needs to balance out between the quads and the hamstrings. So the only way to be able to tell that is when she comes in with closer to the right conditioning. But other than that, her physique is really, really good. She has great glutes. She has great overall fullness. Her upper body, again, it was a little too conditioned, but size-wise, you can see that she doesn't have big, thick arms or big, thick shoulders. So upper body, the size-wise, is where we want to be. There is that imbalance between the upper and the lower body in wellness. And I think when she fixes her conditioning, she is going to be a very strong contender moving forward as well. The last thing she can improve on is her posing. I think she can improve her presentation and her posing a little bit more to make her physique a little bit more flattering. In third place, we had Sandra from Spain. Now, the feedback is still the same for her. I think she can focus on adding more depth to her glutes. She needs that not only in the back pose, but also while she's doing the walk. And then she needs a little bit more to her legs as well. So the same feedback from Columbus to here, but she was going against two very, very strong competitors that placed ahead of her. In fourth was Rosa. Rosa, for her, she needs to find a better flow to her physique, keep improving the waistline. The glutes were really overpowering in her lower body. You want to have balance between your glutes and your legs and the size of how each one is. And the glutes were very, very overpowering for her legs. So she needs to bring those down a little bit and bring the legs up a little bit so you can find that match. Then in fifth place, we had Amanda. Amanda needs more overall glutes, and she needs a little bit more to her legs as well. And she needs just to work on coming in more conditioned and having a little bit more control over the midsection while she's posing on stage. That's your top 5 for wellness.